You're going to hear an audio tape of Grandma Iole Banker, Grandma Iole Martinat, and I'm going to show you photos of the family. This is a photo book that I made for Grandma Iole from my Wolfie. It says, "I love to hug my Wolfie. You make my life so special, so rewarding, and so memorable. I just wish you were still here." That's all. And talking, you're going to hear Grandma Iole and maybe also my mom, Yolanda Lani, and possibly me too. I think we're talking about this problem that Wolfie had. We weren't exactly sure what it was, but I thought it might be a hernia, and it turned out to be a hernia. But, there's confusing factors sometimes, just knowing she has something else, like a fat ball, this, fibromyalymphoma, or fat ball benign tumor on her kidney. Sometimes we'd blame that for things. And I think at the very end, when I saw some blood in her urine, I thought maybe it was that fat ball squeezing the kidney, but it turned out it was just a urinary tract infection, and because of the pandemic, we didn't go to the doctor. Although I did give her about 4 rounds of antibiotics from different doctors, but they were broad spectrum antibiotics, but because she had diabetes that we didn't know she had, we couldn't really get rid of the infection, and then it stopped burning, so I thought it was gone, and I thought she just wasn't hungry, maybe because she had been taking all those pills and stuff, and I didn't know why she wasn't hungry, really. But I was definitely wrong. It's not good to play doctor.
I would say that I've been... Mallory, can you tell me about how fast did it come? Did you just one day notice it, or was it Well, I would say that I've been straining for maybe a month or so. Yeah. Okay. And then I kind of noticed it. Did you notice it just a little bit, or did you just? I noticed a paining a little pain. I thought, well, why would I have a little pain there, And then I kept feeling, and then I noticed. So when you felt it, did you feel it real big, or how? I just felt smaller. Make a little fist for me about how. Well, maybe about like my thumb. Maybe about yeah. Okay, maybe it's part of that. I'm not. I can't really be sure. Well, we were talking about the macaroni and grill, where this girl comes out and sings operatic, usually, or something. Maybe she's a coloratura soprano, and a coloratura is higher than a soprano. She can sing higher notes than a soprano. That's right, yeah. That's the way she sounds. And they have their place in opera, but not at the Macaroni Grill, because most people really don't appreciate that kind of music. And I was telling Annie that maybe a soft accordion music would be, if you went around the tables with a little accordion, just a very quiet, because you can make an accordion very, very quiet, and play some Italian songs that people were familiar with. They probably would like it better, because a high operatic voice in a restaurant without any accompaniment really doesn't appeal to a lot of people. And Grandpa Banker did not like John. John Lemuel. Okay. Grandpa Banker, I call him Grandpa Bob's dad. You'd have to know him, would have had to know him to appreciate this, because he didn't like anybody that sang like that. He would always say, sounds like she's got her tit caught in the ringer. And we laughed.
Oh, because he usually didn't say things like that.
No. He never said things like that, so it was really funny.
1931.
My parents had not seen their parents since they left Italy.
Oh, so this caption says that singing songs together like Sopra I Monti and Sur Ponte di Bazzano and Quando Men Vo is so special. And those songs mean Sopra I Monti is up in the mountains, Sopra I monti che noi saremo. Coglieremo le stelle alpine per portare alle bambine sopra i monti che noi saremo. I think I sang that song to Grandma Iole when I got to talk to her via video conference when she was at the hospital. I didn't think she could hear me. She was all by herself during the pandemic. They wouldn't let me in. So I thought she might not be able to hear what words I'm saying if I'm just talking, but she'd recognize the tune of a song, and the words mean up in the mountains where we were, we collected twice, it says. The song says we collected twice. We collected stelle alpine, which are the name of a particular flower in alpine stars, to bring, which they repeat, to the children, or to the little girls, up in the mountains where we were. And then the other song, Sur Ponte di Bazzano. Sur Ponte di Bazzano, la ci dare la mano, la ci dare la mano, e un buzzing d'amore, un buzzing d'amore, un buzzing d'amore. So that's on the bridge called Bassano. We held hands. And gave each other a kiss of love. And the last song, Quando Man Vo, means when I go, I think, yeah. Quando man vo, soletta per la via, la gente soste mira. Quando man vo, soletta per la via. So when I go like walking alone on the street, the people whisper and look at me. So, okay, let's get back to the audio tape real quick here. Let's see if I can turn the page. Okay. There we go.
Was in 1920.
Oops.
Parents had not seen their... It's funny. 1931.
So we said 1931 here.
1931. My parents had not seen their parents since they left Italy, which was in 1922, and so they decided to, they had saved their money very frugally because it was during the Depression, and so they decided that would be a good, which way? It was a time to go visit their parents, and in order to save money, they decided to drive the car from here to New York, and then take the boat. And I remember we stayed in these little bitty auto courts, they call them, which were really pretty shabby. Like a one-room. Well, anyhow, it was a motel. They called them auto courts then, and just a one-room thing. And we didn't ever stop at any restaurants. Like for lunch, we just have crackers and milk, and dinner maybe just a little fruit or something, and very frugally, as we were my parents didn't have much money.
So why did they decide to go to Italy at that time? Was anybody's mother sick or anything?
No. The Depression was pretty heavy. I mean, it was bad here financially, so they didn't know whether maybe in Italy the conditions were a little bit better financially.
Yeah.
And besides, they wanted to see their parents.
They were almost thinking maybe we should move back.
Well, they might, yeah, that might have been in the back of their head. And
Like maybe more jobs or something like that. Better pay.
Because my mother's father had a nice farm, and my
Farm. Mother's father had a nice farm, so her grandpa.
because my mother's father had a nice farm, and my dad liked to work the farm, and they needed help. And what was
On the farm, they needed help on the farm anyways, so if, her dad Dante liked to work on farms, then maybe that would be a good option, so they wanted to go see.
liked to work the farm, and they needed help.
And what was your dad doing over here at this time during the Depression? All of his work?
Well, he wasn't working. He was not working. He was working. He was trying to find a job, and there were no jobs. There absolutely were no jobs.
But he was working for Mr. Allen.
No, not yet.